Hi FlossTube, I'm Jane.
And I'm Amelia.
And we're here to talk to you about our crafting activities over the last probably 4 months. I think it's been a while since we've done a FlossTube. I think it was the end of January. So February, March, April, May, June, 5 months.
So whenever I started football, just then.
So we've got lots to talk about, and that's probably why we haven't been doing FlossTube is
Football.
Amelia,
And now we have Ethan to take to football, so.
Amelia started playing football. So we normally do our FlossTubes on Sundays.
And the games are on Sundays. Most of the time for me it's 10, for Ethan it's 11 to 12 or something. But today it's 3 o'clock.
Well, you got to talk nice and loud, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, today Ethan's game has been cancelled, so we've got a little bit more time, and we thought let's quickly do a FlossTube because we keep saying every weekend that we're going to do one,
But we never do it.
but we just haven't got around to doing it for some time.
Because we didn't do it on the long weekend. I wonder why.
So I'll quickly start with some finishes. My tablecloth, the Santa tablecloth, which I was working on forever, is finally finished. So let's see if we can hold it right up. That's it.
It's a big boy.
It is a big boy. So every side is the same. So if we just, sorry,
It's okay.
try and show you one side, and basically then the pattern just repeats the whole way around. So that's it. I'll come in a bit closer, I guess. So yes, I finally got this finished and we'll be able to use it this Christmas, which will be nice.
Just make sure Ethan doesn't spill anything.
You know, I guess I had the goal this year of trying to get through a number of my whips, which always starts out well, but then I start new projects, so my number of whips never changes.
And then she finishes it and then she goes to shops and she just buys like 5 more. Dad and Ethan are always complaining about it.
Oh well, I did have another finish over the time since I've done my last FlossTube. We're just getting it out, and this one was a Hands Across the Sea sampler. And this is the finish. It's Jane Hardy, 1840. So I finished this probably in February, I think, and I still haven't got it framed. I've got about 3 or 4 that are ready to be framed. Again, I've just been busy and haven't found time to go to the framers. I stitched this on 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus using the called for DMC, and it was all cross stitch over 2. There was nothing over 1. There were no specialty stitches, so it's quite
Simple?
Yeah, it was quite easy, and it was a really fun project. The colours were nice and bright, and I loved it. Love the house. I love the orange in it. I think it's it was a really bright orange, and I was kind of like, wow, how's this gonna go? But it's really cool. I think it goes so well with all the colors. I'm really looking forward to getting this one framed. And of course it's a Jane sampler, so I've got this one, I've got Jane Marshall, and I've got Jane Fittis complete. I think that's...
Yes, it's the one with all those specialty stitches with that grass. That
fluffy grass.
Yeah, that thingy.
So 3 are finished. 3 Janes are finished, which I think
1 to go.
So I think I've only got, well, I've got lots more Janes to do, but I think I've mentioned I want to do the sampler wall that will be all Janes, as well as another sampler wall, which will just be samplers.
Now you just have to make one. Jane, 2021.
Wow, we'll see. So they're my finishes. I'll now talk about my works in progress. Yeah, I'll have to put that back together. Keep this up. So, what have I been working on?
Cross stitch. That thingy.
This one is
It's not ironed.
Yeah, what a surprise. Not ironed.
She never ironed anything except my clothes.
This was from our Plum Street Sampler retreat in 2020, which didn't happen because of COVID, but we still got the kit. It is called... What is it called? Something joyous. This joyous season. And if I show you the pattern...
You just have looked at the pattern for a moment.
Yeah, you hold this one up.
Oh.
Nice and close so they can see. So you can see in this that it's got snow on the ground, and it's got snowflakes
Coming down.
falling down, and it has reindeer over here, and the Australian flag up here because it was for the Australian Plum Street retreat. But there are in the pattern, there's a New Zealand flag and an American flag, so you can swap the flag out. Of course, I did the Australian flag, but I did change the bottom to be grass because I figured, well, it doesn't snow in Australia at Christmas. Not that that matters because a lot of the other Christmas cross stitches that I do have snow in them, but I thought I'm gonna just change it up because
more Aussie.
yeah, because it had the flag in it. I thought, well, I'm gonna make it a little bit more Australian. So I've changed instead of the reindeer. If you point them out, love, because I'll hold it and you point them out.
She changed them to kangaroos here and here.
And what else did I change? Did I do
the
snow?
grass. No, you didn't do snow
No. I did grass instead.
with flowers.
And so I'm not going to do snowflakes falling down. And where there was snowflakes on the grass, I've kept the same shape, but I've just changed it into the same sort of colour up here and made it look like it's flowers that have
Bloomed.
yeah. So maybe if I do this, because I don't know whether you can kind of see those kangaroos a bit better. The kangaroos I got out of the Brenda Keys book that had all the sampler motif. It's a book that's come out recently, and I think I showed it in my last FlossTube. And anyway, she had kangaroos in that, so I was able to just copy those and pop them in here instead of the reindeer. So this is kind of close to a finish, I guess. It'd still probably take me a couple more weeks because it's full coverage down the bottom, and the house is full coverage as well. So pretty much this section is going to be full coverage, and then I've got the sleigh and I think some more Christmas trees or something over here, and I've just got to finish off up the top. So probably maybe 2 more weeks and I could get that done. So it's one I'm just doing a little bit here and there, but it's really pretty. It's coming together quite nicely, and I'm really happy with the changes I've made on that one. Okay. Then this is one that I started, I think this was my Christmas Day start last year.
No, wasn't it your New Year's?
No, my New Year's was Jane Hardy. So
Do
remember
we
you and
show it?
yeah, you can hold that one up and hold it with the board behind as well. Do you remember what this one's called?
All creatures great and small. Did definitely not look at the pattern name. Definitely.
So All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna Designs. I really love working on this one. It's got so many little motifs and they're all really cute. I just love them. So I've done a bit more since the last time you would have seen this. a lot of people I notice are not stitching the border because it is pretty full on, but it's actually very easy as well because it's just a so repetitive pattern, and the pattern doesn't change. Well, it hasn't changed so far. So it is kind of easy to do, even though it is a lot of detail in that border, and I quite like it. So I am doing it, obviously. I am using the called for DMC. It's originally, I think the model was stitched with anchor floss, but I am using the DMC, and I have no idea what this fabric is. I got this at a cross stitch retreat and it wasn't labelled, but I just really liked the fabric. It is a 36 count, and I thought, oh, it's kind of cool to try something different. I think Amelia wants this sampler when it's finished. So there we go. I'm probably maybe
a quarter in?
Not quite, almost a quarter of the way through. So maybe halfway would be maybe here. So if I just could get this little bit done, then I'd be a quarter of the way through. But it goes quite quickly because you can kind of just stitch a motif a night or something like that. I haven't worked on it for a while, but it's really fun to work on. I'm really enjoying this one. So that's that. Then, did you happen to see where...
Do you want me to look for it?
Nope, all good. I needed my tissue, sorry. Okay, another one that I have done a lot of work on, which is one of my oldest whips, again, trying to work my way through these, is this. Do you want to hold this up? This is a Mirabilia Cinderella, and I have done a lot on this. Okay, let's get the board, and you can actually just pull it down like this. Okay, so this I had already done, but what I have done over the last few months is I finished her face. In terms of stitching, that is, I haven't done any of the back stitching. And then basically this section down here, her dress. So this is getting close to a finish as well. This is one I really do want to get this finished this year. So this top part of her dress here has got metallic floss in it. What's it called?
Metallic floss.
Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It's on a spool. I can't remember.
It's not on that reindeer spool.
Anyway, if it'll come to me. It's not the DMC. It's and so I think that's probably why I had not done much of this, because all the bits that are unstitched in the dress are the metallic floss, and I really hate stitching with the DMC metallic floss. I've never had any luck. It always breaks.
Oh, is it fragile?
Yeah, it is, and it's really quite coarse.
It's sort of stiff. So, like, say, it's maybe pretty violent. So, say you have a really frozen finger, and someone goes wee, and it just snaps.
Yeah, it pulls apart. Like I've had no luck with the DMC.
Couldn't you just put water on it?
But this other floss that is called for, when I stitched this around her dress just to give it a go, and there's a little bit up here as well, it's awesome to stitch with. I love it. It doesn't break. It, stitched out quite nicely. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. So that, I guess, really motivated me to keep on going. I think I've got the tiniest little bit left down here of DMC thread to do, and then I do have some more DMC bits to stitch up in the castle here. And then once that's done, it's just metallic floss and beads. So it's really bugging me. I'm going to have to look and find out what that stuff is called, because it's Krynic. How did I not remember that? I kept wanting to say Zweigart, and I know that that's the linen. So this is stitched on a 28 count, I think it is. And I can't remember anything about what the fabric is called. I'm stitching with 2 DMC threads, and yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. There is, if we have a look here, you can see there's a border all the way around. I don't think I'm going to stitch that border. I don't like it. So I'm thinking of just leaving it like this, and getting it framed up nicely, but no border. I haven't 100% decided on that, so I think I'll stitch the whole thing and then I'll decide. Obviously I won't do the beads. I will stitch everything, and before I start doing the beads, I'll decide whether or not I'm going to do that border. Or if I do it, I think maybe I'll pick a different colour. And I'm not going to frame it in a gold frame like that. I don't like it. I want something a bit more modern. So, but I have made some really good progress on this, and it goes quite quickly. So I'm quite happy with how that's come along, because this is my oldest whip now, and you know, I really would like to get that finished this year. So that's that. Then my last one that I've been working on is this. Oh my goodness, which I have not taken. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm back. I have not taken this off the Q-snap, but I will. But I'll just show you this. This is where I'm up to. In fact, I should show you the pattern. That would make more sense, wouldn't it?
I'm like, why aren't you showing the pattern?
I'll get you to show the pattern and explain to everybody what it is.
I don't even know what it is.
Tell everybody what it's called.
Okay.
That's the name of it down the bottom, and this is the designer up the top.
Okay.
I'll just put that behind it, so there you go.
It's called Sampler from Saxony.
Correct. Now hold it up nice and close so they can see it.
Made by Gigi R.
Very good. That's exactly right.
Didn't want to pronounce it wrong.
I have been eyeing this pattern off for probably 12 months, and was quite unsure how I felt about it. But every time I'd go to the Crew Goblin, I'd look at it and just look at it and then put it back and buy something else, and then next time I go, pick it up, look at it again,
Buy something else, and then finally you had the courage to buy it.
Yeah, well, I got I just brought off eBay, like I think it was, I don't know, $20, $15, just a book about samplers, and it had a band sampler like this, and it had the exact same lion in this book, and you know, I really love the lion, and when I was looking through the book, I was thinking, oh, I'm pretty sure that's similar to the one that's for sale at the Cruel Goblin. And so I thought about it some more, and
she did.
Anyway, I brought it. It is huge. It is insanely huge. I don't know what I'm thinking of doing when I'm doing this sampler. But anyway, I've stitched the lion. I love him. I think he's so cool.
I love Lionel.
I'm stitching this on 36 count linen by Fibre on a Whim, and it's Affogato, I think is the name of it. Now I'll take it off the Q-snap because I've stitched the bird above it as well. So
But you're still focusing on the line a bit, like near the line area.
yeah, because well, the bird is finished except for back stitching. There is some back stitching involved. So if I just do that.
I'll pick that up. Where?
So that's the bird in the tree. Now, Millie, could you just, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I was just going to get Amelia to point out. Anyway, I'll do it. So just here, come around. Just here, there is straight stitches to sort of round out his head in that same sort of mustardy yellow colour. And there's some back stitches on the, looks like wheat over here. So I haven't done those yet. I'll do all of that at the end. So that is the top of the sampler, which you can see here. No, that's the next row. This is the top. And there's nothing stitched here. And there's some little bits, like it looks like either a border or another alphabet or something was going to go up here. And so it's not finished, it's an unfinished sampler. So I have stitched all that needs to be stitched on that top band because it is just the bird. I do have to do, like, there's a line that goes all the way across, so I've got to stitch that line. But basically, yeah, I'm on to the next band. So if we just do that, and I'm onto the next band. But this is huge. It just keeps on going. It's going to fill this whole piece of linen.
That literally is down to your boots.
It's like a meter long. It's
I'm
massive.
at least a meter tall, and I'm tiny. But this looks bigger than I am.
It's going to be massive. I'm kind of at a, you know, and it's taking a long time. Like, to do this took at least 3 weeks. I think this was kind of, you know, there was a lot of counting involved in this line. I thought he would be really quick and easy, but he wasn't. He took some time, and there was some frogging that I had to do on him a couple of times because I got my counting wrong. And I could have fudged it and got away with it, but because you know, it's such a big sampler, and it's one that I really love, I just thought, you know what, I want to do it right. So I unpicked it and restitched it.
That's the thing Mum hates, unpicking.
Yeah, it's not fun. But it's something very different, this sampler. You know, it is similar in that it's got all the motifs, but the motifs are just massive. Like, they're huge, big pictures. So
No wonder it's going to take up a lot of space.
yeah, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool when it's finished. You know, and I'm probably, you know, when I got home the day I brought this, I was sitting here going, don't start it. Keep going on the ones that you've been working on. And I think maybe half an hour later, I just went, oh, I'm starting it.
You finally cracked.
Because I love it. I really do love it. And so I've pretty much been just working solidly on this over the last 6 weeks, basically, since I brought it. And it's one of those ones, because it's so big, I just think if I do sort of flip around and do other things, it's going to end up sort of sitting there and not getting done. So the more I can do and the more I can keep going on it, then the more likely I am to get it done.
So like the Mirabilia, you did it and then you stopped. And then you kept stopping and like you never really did it. And then you started it all over again. Well, not all over again, you just started doing it again.
Yeah, so there's some samplers, or there's some cross-stitch patterns that I just really, you know, I don't enjoy as much for whatever reason. I don't know. There's normally a reason. And it's not that I don't like the pattern, it's just that I'm not enjoying it for whatever reason. So I'm not going to spend my time stitching
something you don't enjoy.
Yeah. So they end up being the ones that I guess are, you know, stuck in my whip pile for so long. So
And then you just pull them out and start.
yeah, I think
Eventually.
it's good to keep chipping away at them just a little bit, even if it's just one day a month or one day a week or whatever you feel like.
One day a year.
Because at least it keeps them moving along. But you know, when you find something you love, like this one, then just go for it. Have fun. So that's all my whips. I will quickly show you my purchases. In the sampler book that I was talking about, where I saw that lion, in fact I might just quickly show you guys that because I think it's quite cool. This was the book I brought. Sorry, I've just got stuff falling down
Everywhere.
Okay, so this was the book, and this
This is the page.
this was the page that had the lion. Do you want to point the lion out?
Right there.
Now he's different colours because he's obviously blue,
Here.
but he is literally the exact same lion. He's exactly the same as the one I've just stitched. And that chicken or rooster or whatever it is, how cool is he?
He's a big one.
And this, I love this.
I like the horse down the bottom.
Yeah, that's really cute.
That thingy. I love horses.
And this,
Oh man, that's a fat turkey.
I think it's a peacock.
Oh. And then there's a deer right there.
Yep.
Well, whatever.
And then I saw this, which is on the cover, and I loved that. And I mean, this is hard to see because it's so old, but there's another sort of a chicken rooster thing there.
A rooster.
There's this. And this book has some of the patterns, not all of them. So it has this pattern. And it has this, which I think flows on from the previous page. And so I was kind of going, well, I could stitch this, but I was really disappointed because it didn't have the lion. It didn't have the lion pattern. So whilst, yes, I could stitch this because I've got the pattern for all this, I really wanted to stitch the lion and I really wanted to stitch a big rooster. And so this has both of those. It's got the lion, exact same lion, and it's got some weird chicken thing here, and it's got a peacock down the bottom here. And this has also got another magnificent peacock, but it's sort of a long peacock, so he's there and his tail sort of goes across here, and I thought that would look really cool if I stitched that like a drum or something like that. So anyway, having looked through this, and I really, really liked this. This pattern is also not in the book. So I went, oh, I want to find something like this. And I found this one, which is called, what's this one called?
Elizabeth Sheffield.
Elizabeth Sheffield. This is by the Scarlet Letter, which I've never stitched any of theirs before. And it's a Rhode Island sampler. So I haven't kitted it up. I haven't got linen. I've done nothing. I've just brought the pattern. I got this from the Attic.
The Attic?
Yeah, it's a shop in America that I ordered online from. Or actually, no, I had to call them up. So that was fun. Calling up America and asking
Give me that book.
For this, and I also, which was in this book, again, the pattern not in the book, but the chart was this one, which I went, oh, that's cool.
Which one?
This one.
So that's a close up and that's a not close up.
Yeah. And this is Jane Ballard, 1799. And so when I saw this, I loved it for two reasons, because look at it, it's awesome. And second of all, it's a Jane sampler. So I went, oh, I've got to find it. So I was researching, trying to find this sampler. It's out of print, of course. But when I called the attic, they had one left.
Did you get it?
I got it. So, again, I haven't kitted it up. I've just got the pattern. And that's it. Jane Ballard sampler.
Wait, can you, I see how Ballard is spelled? Oh.
Now this is going to be tough because this whole tree, like all these leaves, it's freehand stitching, so it's not charted. You've got to figure it out. And probably the same down here, and the same over here. There's a lot of specialty stitches. It's going to be a tough sampler. And not only that, but this is it. It is folded onto just one massive piece of paper. So it's like this huge, big bed sheet of a pattern, not individual pages. So I'll probably have to do a working copy and then mark off, you know, the crossover sections and things like that. So there's a bit of work involved in this one. It's not something I'm going to start anytime soon, but I'm really excited and glad to have this one. I also brought this one, which is the Red Deer sampler, another Gigi R. You know, again, I've wanted this one for a while. I've seen people who have stitched it. It looks fantastic. I love all the colours. Looks amazing.
Obviously, you love the red.
Yes. So I have all of the colours for it. It took me a while to get all of them, but I now have all of them, and I think I've picked out my linen, but I'll 100%, when I'm ready to start it, that's when I'll 100% decide on my linen. But I'm really excited to have that, so it's kitted up and ready to go. And then last time when I went to the Cruel Gobelin and got the sampler from Saxony, I saw this and just went,
I need it.
I love it. I really love it. So I got it. Honestly.
Hand it over.
This is a new one by Gigi R.
My name is called Ellen
Norris.
No.
How cool is that? I love it. I really love it. Ellen Norris, 1826. I don't know. It's got this, I think it's the colours. Like it's all a bit brown and I don't know. I guess that's like the Adam and Eve style thing that samplers tend to do. They've got lots of birds, lots of flowers. This butterfly is beautiful.
Do you have any rabbits?
Does it have any rabbits?
Or bunnies or something?
Well, it's got some little dogs, I guess, down the bottom here. It's got quite a few dogs. Certainly got birds. Got a couple of angels up here.
No rabbits.
But I don't think it has any rabbits, no.
Sad.
It's got a ship. It's got a ship down here.
It's got the Titanic.
I love it. I love the colours. I love all the motifs. Cannot wait to start this one. Now, I did get linen for this. I got Fox and Rabbit Hog's Bristle. And I got all the DMCs. This Hog's Bristle colour is just amazing. And I should have mentioned on this is the Repeat the Sound and Joy. That's a fox and rabbit linen as well, and it is up in the attic. But this hog's bristle is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous colour. I'm really in love with the fox and rabbit linens, and I'm really excited because it's an Australian linen designer, I guess is what you call them, or manufacturer, or I don't know. They're making the linens in Australia. And it's often hard to get really nice hand-dyed linens in Australia because obviously, you know, the shops have to ship from, you know, overseas, and it takes longer, and they probably can't order as much. And so having one that's local is really, really awesome. So
And super rare.
yeah, so now, like when I went to the Cruel Goblin last, they had so many of the fox and rabbit linens, and I had to control myself because I could have brought, you know, half a yard of all of them, but I don't need to. So I just got what I needed, which was this for this particular pattern, and I got the fibre on a whim linen for the Gigi R. But yeah, just it's so great now having more access to the hand-dyed linens. So that's what I plan on stitching Alan Norris in. I'm not going to, yeah, hear me say this. I'm not going to do any new starts because I really do want to get some of these other ones finished before I do any more new starts. But I'm hoping by the time my birthday comes around that I will have gotten this joyous season completed, and maybe some more progress on the Cinderella that would allow me to do another start. So that's all I'm going to talk about because I've gone on for quite some time. I'm going to hand over to Millie so she can show you what she's been working on.
I don't know what to start with.
Whatever you want, doesn't matter.
Okay,
Amelia hasn't been doing cross stitch as such. She's found
something
another
new.
hobby that she really enjoys at the moment.
So it's drawing, and we went to the shops and we got these double-sided markers. So one side's, what is it?
Where is it? That was weird.
Tiny dog. The other side's bigger. So that's those. I've had drawing pencils, outline markers, and more double-sided textures for a while, so I have those.
So Amelia likes watching anime shows, and so that's what she's interested in drawing.
And a friend gave me this drawing book. It has some of his drawings in it. So we got this one, and we got a bigger one.
So we got some sketchbooks for her to just practice
drawing in
different bits and pieces.
So in this one, I basically just draw eyes and faces, like different
parts,
expressions of the face.
Yeah.
And just sort of little drawings.
You should show your drawings in here. They're awesome.
Oh yeah, sure.
These eyes, look at these eyes she did. They're fantastic. So she's just using this to kind of sketch out your ideas?
Yeah, get it. Wait. I drew a dragon neck and head here. I'm sure you all remember Hugh Jackrabbit. And then we also have this. I just made it change colors because when say like up close on water, it's really light. And once you get further in, it gets darker.
Then there's this one you drew
Of Ethan.
of Ethan, her brother.
No, I know. And there's Ethan playing a game of Fortnite.
Ethan with his headset on.
It was very hard for me to draw.
These are great, really. You jackrabbit, yep. Okay,
It's
so
time for the other book. In the other book, I don't draw as much. So in art class, I drew on a piece of paper this. So I just drew it at home for art. That's just a
another
person.
Yeah. Is there any before this?
And before this. No, nothing. I want to show the people. Wait, can I show them the other?
Oh,
This.
yeah.
This is probably the best drawing I've ever done in my life. So that.
That is really cool. I love this. So who is this?
This is a character from this anime called Haiku, and Shoyo Hinata. He's one of the main characters. I've got another one of him laminated and sticks on my door. This one's not as good because
I think it's awesome.
his name's down there.
So you watch YouTube videos
Yeah.
that teach her how to draw, and this is what she comes up with.
There's one more.
There's another one in here too.
Yeah, but that's not as good.
Doesn't matter. They're all the more you do it, the better you get.
I accidentally written the back of this one, so.
That's cool.
This one, this is the other main character.
That's really cool. Some of these I haven't seen yet, so
I've shown you this before.
yeah. Here's another one that you've done in pencil that I haven't seen.
It was the other one, the other small dude. I've done
Oh, wow.
a close up of
Eyes and face.
of his face.
This is a really good one, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is Amelia's new hobby.
I draw.
I think it's a great hobby, and your grandma sent you some books on how to draw.
Anime or manga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
And yeah.
all right, is that it? Is that all?
Let me check. Yes.
Yes.
I've got something to show that you drew. That
No, we're not showing that.
Yes, we are showing that.
No, please.
Oh. Okay, then I have nothing.
So that's it for today. Next week, what are we doing next weekend? You wanted to talk about that?
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yes, you do. Come on. Quick.
We're going to the Archer board.
It's an Australian art competition
I'm entering for next year.
for portraiture. And so we're going to go and have a look at the 2021 entries and finalists and winners at the art gallery next weekend. It's really impressive. It's very cool. So
And I'm sending in some of my own for next year.
yeah, Amelia wants to enter next year, so if she keeps up her drawing, she'll be able to do that. So that'll be a fun day out.
And we're going with friends.
Yes.
And Ethan. Not Dad.
So otherwise, I think I'm going to keep going on the sampler from Saxony. I'll probably do some more of this Joyous Season because it'll be good to get that one finished. And maybe even try and do some more work on the Cinderella one. Not sure when we'll be back. As I say, it's a little tricky at the moment to try and find time.
Maybe on the holidays. Or if we have time.
Yeah.
Because there might not be games on the holidays.
Or there's games. I'm pretty sure there's games. But that's okay. We'll see how we go. And we'll try and, we do I would prefer to do this monthly, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.